Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. Do you ever expect me to get down here on time? I never get down here on time. So it's the last day of week 3. It is a stretch day. That's it, just stretching. It's also results day. Today is the day that I take my measurements and my weight and stuff. So I do it once a week. I want to kind of go over that. I don't think I've actually addressed that in the videos. When you weigh yourself, I've probably talked about it before, but you don't want to weigh yourself any more than once a week. I've talked to a few people back when I was actually in shape, and I was, before I mentioned it, when I got in really good shape like 8 years ago, I know I keep mentioning that all the time, but I'm very proud of what I did back then. I'm very disappointed that I don't still look like that or look better, but I disappeared from all social media for the entire time that I started working out. Like, I got off it like a week beforehand, and then I got on like a week after I finished, or right after I got, to start taking the pictures that I really liked, where I could start to see my abs, and I'm like, oh my god, I've never seen these before. I had a lot of people jumping all over my page. Obviously, they were mutual people on Facebook, but I had a lot of people jumping on my page. What did you do? How'd you do it? What was your routine? How'd you do this? What was this? And then they would start sharing, tagging me in their photos. I'm starting my journey. Joey inspired me to do this, or whatever, and then they tag me, for either for advice or information or what. And I remember one person told me, she was very, actually, she's my, cousin through marriage. Yeah, my uncle married her mom. Yeah, cousins through marriage. But she's like this tall, extremely heavy set. She's like, all right, I'm going to get up. I am ready to do this. I'm going to weigh myself every morning. And I'm like, do not do that. I'm like, you are just going to disappoint yourself. 100%. I'm like, I'm not trying to sound mean, but you're at a point where you probably want to weigh yourself once a month. I'm like, but at the minimum, once a week, and that's because your body does stuff. Your body does stuff. Like right now, I go upstairs and eat my full breakfast, which, by the way, if you guys want to know what I eat for breakfast, it's really the only main meal that I actually eat consistently. I have 4 pieces of turkey bacon. I get the butterball, and it tastes better. 2 eggs, 2 whole eggs. About a serving of fat-free cottage cheese. It doesn't have to be fat-free, but I got used to getting it. I like the taste of it. And then about 8 to 12 ounces of V8. I know that's probably a lot of salt in that V8 and the turkey bacon. You can get the lower sodium version if you want to, and I probably should. It just doesn't taste as good. But it's probably more beneficial. But that's my breakfast. Okay, so I could go upstairs and eat that heavy duty breakfast. I know it's not like super heavy duty, but it's fairly heavy duty. And then jump on the scale, and I'm going to weigh about. I'm going to weigh probably a couple more pounds. And my body fat percentage, I have one of those electrolysis, whatever you call them, scales. I think I need a new one because it fluctuates too much in a period of like 2 minutes. But beside the point, I could down a glass of water. My body fat's going to change on there. Not only I'm going to add the weight of the water in my body, but the body fat's going to go haywire because now I have more water in my body, and that's how it reads your body fat percentage. And your weight versus your height determines your BMI, so BMI is a nice thing if you're trying to lose weight. If you're going from like obese to trying to get slim down, BMI is good. But if you're trying to gain muscle, BMI is not going to help you because, a true BMI, I believe, takes the measurement of your wrist. You're either like large bone, small bone, medium bone. I think I'm medium bone. Your height and your weight. The scale doesn't take the measurement of your wrist, so it just goes basically weight versus height. So you got to input your height. So if your fat goes up, your BMI goes up. Well, if your weight goes up, your BMI goes up. I'm not sure if it works off of the body fat percentage either, but that's just how it goes. So for building, BMI is not great, but for losing weight, BMI is great. So I just write it down on my weekly result pictures, just because it's there and it's a measurement. So I do my weight. My scale does the weight, body fat, BMI. It does the water percentage, so I like to make sure that's about right, because if it's like well below 50% water, then I'm dehydrated. If it's way above 50% water, then I'm overhydrated, I guess, which I guess could be a thing. But that's going to affect my body fat percentage on the scale. But anyway, your body, eating, drinking, when you eat last versus before. I personally made the mistake of eating the rest of my Indian food from Wednesday, which was lamb vindaloo. So there was like lamb chunks, potato, the sauce that goes with it, the red curry sauce, I believe, and some rice. I ate that like 11:30 midnight last night, so it's still like settling in my stomach, all right, along with all other stuff, because I ate Indian food earlier this week. I'm not going to say I ate perfect all week, but I'm going to tell you right now, my measurements this morning didn't really change from last week. Okay, my weight was still, it jumped from like 198.8 to 198.3. The last time I stepped on it, like 2 or 3 times, and it was 198.4, which is the exact weight I was last Sunday. The measurement around my stomach was about 45.25, which is what it was last week. The body fat percentage fluctuated way too much for me to be happy with. In the matter of just a couple of minutes of me stepping on and off the scale, it went from like 31.1 down to 29.3, back and forth. Like there was in-betweens in there as well. Like I like to make sure I got on the scale a couple times in a row, just to make sure it's reading accurately. And if I get 2 of the exact same readings, then that's what I'm going with. And that last 2, so I was at 198.8, 198.4 pounds, 29.3 body fat, which is up from last week, which I'm not worried about a slight fluctuation in the body fat on one of those scales, because those scales are not completely accurate. So I would not be 100% trusting in that. If it fluctuates too much, then there's, in a week, there's probably something wrong with the scale. But it's going to fluctuate back and forth, between at least 1%, so you could jump on it. You could be losing weight. You could take your measurement. You could drop a ½ inch every week, just ½ inch down, and your body fat percentage is going down, maybe like a point or 2. and then next thing you know, it jumps up a little bit, but you're still losing the weight, or you're still losing the inches. So that body fat percentage on those scales is just a guide. Okay, there's only like two other. You need the 7-point pinch test, which is probably, I believe, one of the most accurate ones, but it's, unless you got somebody else doing it, there's like, you got to pinch fat back here, things that you really can't see. You need somebody else to do it for you. The 3-point is kind of pointless. Again, it might give you a guide to follow, give you a rough estimate, but the only true, like, accurate one, I believe, is the water displacement test that you kind of got to go to a physical fitness place, athletic fitness testing place or something like that, where they put you in like some weird like chair thingy, and they put you in the water, and then they measure the displacement of the water. That's like the accurate one. So, but anyway, what was I saying? You never want to measure stuff more than once a week, because especially if you're just starting out, because that's going to disappoint you. You're going to get on the scale one day, like, all right, I'm 200 pounds, cool. And then you hop on the scale the next day after, you did a workout, you ate right, hop on the scale the next day, and you're 201 pounds. And then you're just going to get off on the scale the next day, and then you're 198. You hop on the scale the next day, you're 203. Your body goes through stuff. Okay? Your body likes to hold things in. You can retain water. You can be constipated. You ate Indian food. You ate Chinese food. You ate pizza. You ate anything that your body doesn't like. You drank too much milk. Whatever it is, your body is doing stuff constantly. So once a week at minimum is going to give you probably your best option to weigh yourself. Now, when I was actually, like 8 years ago, I don't know why I keep pointing back. I'm pointing back there because there's a little room back there that I had this machine, and I had this in the little room back. It's like a small bedroom sized area back there. I had that back there and a couple of like dumbbells that I used. So I did everything in there. So I keep pointing back there. That's why. So when I did that, I was watching a little more. I was tracking everything I eat. I used was it Fat Secret Calorie Counter? That's a good one to use. They got a lot of stuff in there. You can put 90% of the stuff you can just scan a barcode, and it pops all the information in there. It's kind of user updated. There's a few things I had to put in there myself. But I was tracking like everything that I ate, everything that I did. If I mowed the lawn, I wrote down that in there. If I worked 8 hours, I put that in there. Even if it was just sitting at a desk. They have all these things for how many calories normal things do. Mowing the lawn, doing cardio, doing heavy lifting, doing moderate lifting, driving. I was everything was going in that thing. So I watched everything, and when I measured myself, I only did it once a week technically. But I would do my measurements, my weight and measurements on Saturday morning. I would do it again on Sunday morning, and I would do it again on Monday morning. And I would take whatever the lowest was of those measurements. But I can tell you right now, there was a change in each day. Saturday might have been like, oh, that sucks, because here's where I was last week. That's higher. Sunday I get on, it's lower than everything. I'm like, oh, that's much better. I get back on Monday, and it's kind of like about the same as what it was when I did my measurements the week before. So your measurements are not going to be the same every week. you will notice fluctuations. I don't care what you're doing, you're going to notice fluctuations. Okay. Now, if you're again, not trying to sound mean, if you're grossly obese, that is the proper term for it, you are going to drop a lot more fat by doing a lot less than someone, say, my size. Okay. And I'm considered obese, so, and I consider myself obese. So, you doing a 45-minute cardio every morning, even just as much as you could do it, or you take a half an hour walk around the block because that's all you can really do, and do a little bit of upper body stuff at home, you're probably going to lose maybe 5 pounds a week. Whereas I'm lucky if I'm going to lose a pound doing what I'm doing, or even doing more than what I'm doing. So there's differences. And if I get down to where I want to be, it's going to be harder and harder and harder for me to lose more fat, because your body's going to want to retain some of that. And I don't want to strip it all off. I don't want that sunken in phase that somebody's got like 2% body fat. I'm not trying to be in bodybuilding competitions. I don't want to. I don't want you to see every ripple in every one of my muscles in my body. I don't want my skin like sucking onto my body. But the smaller you get, the less weight you're going to lose. So if you are heavy set and you're losing weight, and you're dropping like 5 pounds here, 6 pounds here, 3 pounds here, whatever, and you get like 6 months into it and you're down to more of a healthier weight than you were, you're going to start noticing you're not dropping the 5 to 8 to 10 pounds that you were losing at first. So it's going to change. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm just going on a rant about body weight. But it probably needs to, that's one thing people don't pay attention to. There's also the other thing that people think they can target body fat in certain areas. And there are a lot of people on here who are basically snake oil salesmen who will tell you that, yes, you can target your abs, your body fat, your fat on your abs. You can target just that fat. That is a lie. Body fat comes off your body however it wants to come off. It basically comes off roughly the same all over your body. It just melts off. It's not exactly the proper term, but it comes off. You're burning the body fat burning, whatever, another not correct term, but it comes off as it comes off. All right, you can target the muscles. Okay, that's why you see guys in the gym that are like huge buff guys and they have chicken legs. You can target muscles to build. You can't target how the fat burns off your body. That's a flat out lie. I have heard a few people say this online. I even made a video response to it, and I called them out. It's a bold-faced lie. You were lying through your teeth. You cannot target body fat in certain areas. So right now, I've been working out this is now the end of my 3 weeks, and I barely noticed anything here. I've lost about an inch, and if my measurements are correct, but I can tell you right now, I got some stuff going on here right now. I can feel it. So they're probably not completely accurate, but I've lost at least an inch. Okay, even if I take my measurements from this morning, I've lost an inch. All right, it's not a lot. All right, you can barely notice it in the pictures, which is correct. You're not going to really notice that, at that point. And I'll tell people, unless you're like, want 100% like all this like documentation, boom, 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 like I'm doing. If you're looking more so for inspiration, weigh yourself once a week. Don't get too mad about fluctuations, small fluctuations, or even being the same as the week before, until you get like 2-3 weeks in a row where there's no change, right? But take your pictures about once a month or at the end of every cycle. Me, I know I'm fluctuating. I don't care. I like to see that little bit. You know, it's fun watching the. I've done this a few times. I just wish I would stay that way. I like hitting the slideshow button on my weekly photos because I take the same photo every week. You know, I make sure the shower curtain behind me is in exactly the same position. I stand in the exact same position. I make sure I'm lined up properly. I'll take the picture 4 times until I make sure it's exactly the same. I might be standing just kind of slightly different. My head might be tilted. The phone might be in the wrong spot or tilted a little bit. But every picture I'm holding my phone. I'm like this when I'm looking at the screen. Every photo. So they're all the same. So I hit the slideshow button and I just watch the fat just kind of go right off of me. You know, it's kind of cool. But if you need the more inspirational type things, weigh yourself once a week, take a progress picture once a month, or like I said, at the end of every cycle. My cycles are 6 to 7 weeks. Okay, once a month is fine, or every 4 weeks, because or you can do it on the month. You can do April 1st, you can do May 1st, you can do June 1st. I take mine 4 and 5 week. I take mine weekly, so I count my month. The closest day to my the 4 picture. So my month picture this month will be May 8th because my first picture was May 10th. Okay, that's the closest Sunday to that Sunday day was. If that makes any sense. Because it's only 2 days difference. So I'm not going to take my picture on every week and then take a picture 2 days later. That's kind of pointless. I went on a rant and forgot what I was saying. Yeah, anyway, I've noticed my face is, I do enough videos doing this and making TikToks that I've noticed in the last 3 weeks that my face has thinned back out. I kind of went back and watched some of my older videos and just watched my face get fatter, my body get a little bit fatter. You really can't see because I'm holding the phone mostly up here in all my videos. But I have noticed my face start to slim back down. All right, even though this is hardly noticeable. The change there is hardly noticeable. So this whole rant that I'm going on is I just want to make sure that you understand that if 1 or 2 weeks doesn't show progress or enough progress that you were getting before, like I said, you drop a ½ inch, you drop a ½ inch, you drop 3/4 of an inch, you drop a 1/4 inch, you drop a ½ inch, the next week you stay the same. Okay, cool, no problem. You probably didn't do anything wrong, okay? It's just a fluctuation in your body. Something's going on inside of you, maybe. You did everything the same, You probably haven't got to the point where you're at a plateau yet. So you think about what you ate, you think about how much of it you ate, you think about, okay, I did good, I'm fine, there's nothing really wrong, my calories are on track, I've been consistently working out. Now for me, I'm going to tell you right now, this last week, I have not been good about my workouts. I've been down here doing them, but instead of making sure that I'm doing what I'm doing now and talking to you before and or after, I'm talking to you before and after and during. So my 45-minute to an hour workout is taking an hour and a half to 2 hours. It was 2 hours yesterday because I kept talking. Because I can't shut up. So you look at everything and you realize, okay, nothing changed. I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Maybe I can push a little harder this week. I'm at the point I can do that, so I'm going to do that. And then you get on the scale again, and it's the same. So now you're 2 weeks in a row, and your thing's the same. So now there is probably something that you need to make some adjustments on. Okay, so you got to check the diet again. Maybe, obviously, the more you work out, the more you get used to doing something. All right, so that's when you may be like, okay, I've been doing this for 2 weeks. okay, now I need to probably do this, you know. I need to go a little bit harder on it, because this I'm just kind of used to doing. It's keeping me going, but I'm not losing anything now because my body got used to doing it. So if you plateau for 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, it's either your diet and or it's what you're doing in your exercises. You're going to always have the initial shock from not doing anything, which is probably where I was, because I know what I can do, and I'm going very, very light right now. But I haven't done anything in 2 years, so that's why I'm going very light, since I did nothing but eat crap. Literally, not literally, that'd be disgusting. Not literally. But I'm in my car all day. I DoorDash, I Grubhub, I Uber Eats. Occasionally I do rides for Uber and Lyft. Sometimes I go shopping for Instacart. But I'm in my car all day. Like I don't have time to pack lunch today, or I forgot to go to the grocery store. What's the easiest thing to do? Just grab something at the fast food place while I'm getting my food. I stop at Taco Bell, I'm getting Taco Bell. I stop at McDonald's, I'm getting McDonald's. Burger King, getting Burger King. It's quick and easy. I don't have to wait for it. And then I come home, at the end of the day, I'm hungry, so what do? I find whatever late night place is open, that's all crap food. So I'm eating up the crap. Then I come home, I lay on my couch, or I walk in my hallway, because if you see my TikToks, I'm always walking back and forth in my hallway. I don't know. Moving around helps me think, which is probably why I'm doing this. Plus, I don't want to stand in one place. It kind of gets annoying after a while. But, see, I stopped moving. So, yeah, I sit in my car all day, and then I come home and lay on my couch and watch TV. So, the first 2 weeks, initial shock, initial body shock of me moving around again and starting to eat a little bit better, less calories and better of those calories that I'm eating. Yeah, I lost an inch in the right direction. This third week, not really pushing harder other than doing a little more weight, because obviously my weight went up some this week. You've been watching me. I'm 44. I'm not like 84. So the weights I'm doing now are very, very light. It's made to be more cardiovascular, and I think that is my problem this week, is the fact that my routine is supposed to be cardiovascular and endurance, and me stopping and talking through it as much as I have been is where I'm going wrong during my workout. Alright, so if I want to get down here and I want to have a little opening spiel, if I got a few people in here, which I don't think I have anybody watching me. Nobody's watching me on any of these, but I am recording for YouTube. So if I have a spiel I want to go over before my workout, so I don't forget it, that's fine. If I have a spiel I want to do after my workout, that's also fine. But I need to shut my mouth during my workouts, other than what I need to do. And if someone says hi, I can say hi. So I can just come over here and say, like, all right, I did 30 reps with 30 pounds. We're going up next week. Boom. Next workout. And then get set up and go. If I'm not doing that, this routine that I'm doing, this first 6 weeks of 1 of 30 of light weights, little to no weights, well, we're off the no weight, I think, other than my plie squats. Yeah, other than the plie squats, I think that's the only one I have on there that's still zero weight, because it comes right after the squats, and I'm adding weight to my squats. So I want to add weight to the squats, but this one's a little bit different. It takes less weight, it's going to be less weight because there's the exercise that it is. So yeah, little to no weight, fast pace, and I dropped the fast pace this week because I kept talking through my workouts. So I have to stop talking through my workouts, and then I can guarantee, like this next week, I'll get back on track. So the nice thing is that my measurements kind of dictated that. Again, there's stuff going on too, I can guarantee that. But I also know that it made me think that last week I wasn't doing exactly what I needed to do to ensure that I got the results I wanted this week. So we're not changing anything for the workout next week. I have my chart, my handy dandy notebook. We just got, no, I'm not going to do it. So I have my chart. I'm going to honor my chart as it sits, just like always. Almost every weight is going up again this week. There was a few the first couple weeks that wasn't going up. I got all the way through to the third week, finished the third week, and they were still the same. All right, just like the plie squats, there have been 0 pounds all through it. The squats and the front squats, I just finally decided I would take up the weight. But like everything this week, there's a lot of them. I'm like, all right, I can do more. I can do more now. I'm good. My elbow seems to be okay. That's one of my issues I'm watching too. That I'm like, I can do more. So I'm going to do more, and I'm going to make sure that I shut up during my workouts. Again, if I see your comments pop up and you do say something, I'll try my best to address them without going on a rant. And then I can readdress them at the end of the workouts. But I have to make sure that I get my 45 minutes to an hour in with the heart rate elevated to ensure that I'm pushing hard enough to continue to lose the weight, because you need to make sure that your heart rate stays elevated all the way through, which is the purpose of this 1 to 30 fast pace. The 2 to 15 is going to be fast paced. The 3 to 10, we're going to start 3 to 10 and 5 to 6. We're going to start doing intervals, little moderate cardio intervals in between sets. I'm going to do my set of 10. Then I might run in place for a little bit, obviously a little more than that. Do my next set, jumping jacks. Do my next set. Do some like Heisman things or something, whatever they do on P90X and their plyo, the moderate side of their plyo, and then break that down, move to my next workout, and repeat the entire process. And then 5 to 6, the same thing. 6 to 5 and 10 to 3 are going to be supersets set up. So I'm moving as fast as possible through each workout. And by the time I finish the first workout, I'm ready to go back to my first set. So it'll be bench presses, military presses, tricep kickbacks, back to bench presses, military presses, tricep kickbacks. Finish those sets and then move on to dumbbell flies, side lateral raises, and skull crushers. And just boom, boom, right through those. So the whole point, to avoid having to do extra cardio at the end of the day, which I really want to do, I really want to avoid having to do the extra cardio, is to make sure I am going through this properly and fast enough. So I gotta see how long I've been on here. Does it say how long I've been recording? 17 minutes? 17 minutes? I've been talking for 17 minutes. That's terrible. See, that's my problem. One more day stretching. So yeah, that's my end of the week rant, basically. All that just to basically say that if your weight doesn't change, your measurements don't change, don't get discouraged. Just reflect on what you've done and what you haven't done, and make adjustments as needed, if needed. If it's just 1 week, don't worry about it. If it happens again the second week, you might have to make some changes. Personally, I know for a fact that I'm sure my weight's off because I have some things going on in my body. Like I said, that's one of the things, the problem. And 2, I know the fact that I have not pushed as hard as I should have. My weight has gone up. My diet was not bad. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. However, I lost the pace that I had the week before. That first week, I didn't even want to talk to anybody. I just turned them on and I did my thing. I said, "All right, so this is what we're doing. If anybody cares, nobody's probably watching me anyway." So I just kept doing it. Then I realized I started getting people to watch me, which is fine. Watch me if you want to. That's the whole point. Well, the point is I'm making sure I'm coming down here, so if anybody's checking on me, they can yell at me. But if people want to watch me, great. Then I started getting into more like trying to be motivating and stuff, but I can't be motivating if I'm not making sure that I'm staying on top of what I'm doing. So last week was good and bad. This is the last thing I'm going to say here before I start. The last week was good and bad. It was good because I finally got into my started feeling where I was in my routine, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to start pushing with the weight. But at the same time, I backed off on making sure I'm doing them fast enough to get through them. So last week was a good thing and a bad thing. Good because my weight went up. The weights I'm using started going up better because I started feeling where I was better. Bad because I kept stopping and talking as opposed to getting through workouts. So from now on, if anybody's watching me, make sure you yell at me. Go look over and see comments that say "shut up" and start working out. I'd love to see that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep my intros starting tomorrow. I'm gonna keep my intros a little bit quicker, and then especially since nobody really on here until after I start working out anyway when I do, and then I'll do my little spiels afterwards if I have time, which I usually do, and then I'm going to shut up during the workout. So there's no reason I should be resting longer than 30 seconds with the routine that I'm on. So yeah, that being said, this week was not great, but next week should be better, and we're going to make it better. Okay, so stretching. First week I did, still talking, but first week I did the P90X stretch, which I've done before. It's a good stretch. I think it's too long for what it is, without getting everything. It still gets a lot of stuff. It's a good stretch. Last week I did the Turbo Fire Stretch 40, which I didn't really care for. It was very relaxing. It was a relaxing stretch, but it wasn't like, didn't get a full body stretch in like I wanted to. So I searched YouTube. I haven't watched any of these, but I put a few in I didn't really put them in a playlist, but a few I think I favorited or something. So I'm going to play one, and I will make sure that on YouTube I put a link to the one, and make sure I put all the credits for the person that we're using because the audio is going to be playing on this live. So this is called 30-minute full body deep stretch. Okay, that kind of what got me there. There's a few other ones that this girl Sydney Cummings has on here. There's like 30 minutes for flexibility and relaxation. There's another one right next to this by MadFit that says beginner flexibility routine. There's one to the left that says 20-minute full body stretch routine by Bully Juice. So I'm going to do this Sydney Cummings one here today. See how that works for me. Because I think a full body workout or full body stretch should take longer than a half hour. But I don't think it should take a full hour to do. but I think if you're going through it in 20 minutes or less, I think that's not really a good full body stretch. That might be a good full body stretch to do before or after a workout, but I don't think it's going to be a good full body stretch. So this one it's a total of 33 minutes and 10 seconds. So I'm not sure how much of that is doing what I'm doing right now and how much is a workout. So, but we're going to find out together. I haven't done this, haven't watched it. We're going to give it a shot. And I'm going to do this until I find one that I like. And then eventually I will probably just do my own after I make sure I got a good routine going. Because I want to incorporate the yoga warm-up that they do, but I want to make sure I have it proper. This might be loud. YouTube seems louder. Loading. It's loading. I have a feeling I'm going to need my mat. I really don't need a mat. I get the mat out because it's a little extra cushioning. This is carpeted. And it's got the under stuff, but it's old and kind of flattened out. So it's still soft.
What's up, guys? It's Sydney. This is your 30-minute full body deep stretch. So grab a spot on your mat and let's get started.
Well, she said mat. So we're using the mat. Alright.
What's up, guys? I'm so
entire
excited
mat
that you
frame.
are here and you're spending this time to help your body recover, to stay mobile, to stay flexible, and to
Picture
ignite passions
frame.
in the fitness
Close
journey.
enough.
Is that you feel good as we move through this journey, okay? So, give me a big deep breath first.
Oh, she's got her sideways.
Glad you're here. Just try to relax your body, relax your mind. We're going to start with the feet. We're going to move from lower body up to the hips, lower back area, ending with your upper body, neck, traps, shoulders, arms. Okay? So let's go ahead and start with your feet nice and wide apart. Okay? Lots of info in the description today about the Sydney squad, so make sure you check that out as we roll into the new challenge starting up tomorrow. I would love for you to join us there. It's going to be July Power Hits, lots of fun challenges, a plank challenge included. All that info is in the description, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started. I want you to arch your feet up one at a time, okay? In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Just come up onto the balls of your feet. Okay, we're going to loosen up the muscles in your feet, stretching your arches. Try to keep most of the weight on the opposite foot as you arch your foot over. Okay, so you can really just stretch. Good job. Let's do one more each foot. Good. Now, I want you to shift your weight to the right leg and actually tuck your toes under on the left side. Okay, and add a little bit of pressure so you feel the stretch all across the top of your foot from your ankle down to your toes. Okay, relax for just a second. Wiggle your toes. And let's do the same exact thing. Weight is right here on the right leg. Tuck the left toes under so they're facing the floor. And add just a little pressure so you feel that stretch all across the front of your foot. The top part of your foot from your ankle to your toes. And let's go side to side on this one now. Okay, so you're going to touch outside toe, big toe. Outside, big toe. Okay, it's important for your ankles to be mobile. So a lot of times we can get stiff if we're sitting for a while. We often neglect our feet when in reality they're carrying everything for us. Okay, big toe and pinky toe. Let's go one more time. Big toe in. And great job. Switch your weight over to the left foot. And let's tuck the toes down on the right side. Add a little bit of pressure, not too much. This is all going to be determined by you today. So whatever you feel comfortable with, how far you feel comfortable stretching. I want you to push a little bit further than that, but nothing too painful. Good. All right, release your toes. Relax, wiggle your toes just a little bit. And let's tuck them right back under again. Try and think about pushing your heel forward towards your ankle. There you go. Keep breathing nice and deep. Remember, this is supposed to be relaxing, so just calm your mind, calm your body. Alright, great job. Let's do that side-to-side rotation now with your right foot. Okay, so touch big toe, and then shift it inside, pinky toe. Big toe, pinky toe. Each time you put it down, add a little pressure. Great job. All right, let's go back to the other foot. We're going to do ankle circles and then we'll move up from the feet, okay? So go ahead and switch here. Let's go clockwise, ankle circles first. Some support, you can grab onto something. Alright, good. Now switch directions. So we're going to go counterclockwise. Tracing circles with your toe. Great job. 3, 2, 1. Good. Switch it over to the other foot. Same thing. Counterclockwise. Switch directions, go the other way. A little more awkward on one foot than the other. It's okay. 3, 2, 1. Great job. All right, let's move on up to the shins and the calves, okay? So we're going to take a split stance here. I want you to focus on getting that back heel down to the floor.
Facing that way.
Okay, that's your first focus. Heel is on the floor. From there, you can step forward as far as you can, keeping your heel flat. Good job. Some people will be able to lean a little bit further forward. I want you to relax the quad in this back leg. Okay, see how I can grab my quad and kind of jiggle it? It takes a little bit of the pressure off your knee if you relax your quad.
How you can relax your
Good job. Now I want you to take that back toe and rotate it out just a little bit, about 45 degrees, same thing. Okay, maybe you can step forward a little bit more, move into the kind of the lateral lower part of your calf, your soleus. Good job. Here you go. Patience. Feel the stretch. Come back here and I want you to turn that toe internally now. This one you probably won't be able to go as far forward. Okay? Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep that whole back foot on the floor. Just different angles of your calf and your shin area in general. Great job. All right, let's switch feet. Take that back foot back, straight on. Toes are pointed straight ahead. Keep the heel down and then step as far out as you can. I like to start from the feet because a lot of times we just neglect that area of our body, our shins and our calves and our feet. So starting here, getting everything loose from the toes up. Good job. Really drive that heel down again. Breathe. Turn your toe out just a little bit. Same thing, lean forward. Still push that heel down. There you go. And now come on up. Turn your toe in towards the middle of your body. Same thing, lean forward. Beautiful job. Let's take it down to a pike position. Okay, so I want you first to bend forward right over your feet. Okay,
turn this way.
and walk it out. 3 big steps.
I don't know.
2, 3. Okay, we're going to pedal left and right. tying in everything we've done so far. Arches of your foot, your ankles, your calves. Come up onto your toes nice and high. Stretch out the arches of your foot. Really push, push, push into the floor. Drive your ankles forward. And then roll your heels down into the mat. Really push into the mat with your hands. Push your heels down. Good job. Alright, let's shift the weight up into your hands. Nice and long in a plank position. And I want you to take your left foot up, right beside your left hand. Drop that back knee down and relax your foot onto the floor.
Super fast through it.
First, let's just center our hips up to the ground. Big deep breath in. Use that front foot to push back. Okay, so your front leg is straight. Big deep breath in. And melt right over top of that leg. Big deep breath in. Push back forward onto your hands. Nice straight back leg. Relaxed foot. Open your chest up a little bit more for me on this one. Try to open your shoulders nice and wide. Breathing nice and deep. Good. Push it back one more time. Big exhale. Hamstring is straight. Your toes pulled back up towards your face. Great job. Let's come back into this tabletop position. Okay. Hands and knees are right underneath of your shoulders and your hips. And let's switch feet. Okay, so right foot comes up beside your right hand. Center your hips up towards the ground. And let's push down towards the floor. Take a deep breath in as you exhale. Sink a little deeper. Just focus on squaring your hips up to the floor. Back foot is nice and relaxed. Next breath, inhale, exhale, push your hips back, straighten that front foot out. Melt right over top of the quad. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Go just a little deeper for me. Push your chest down to the floor a little more. Exhale, come back up to the front. Drop those hips down. And let's push into the hands, lifting your chin up away from your chest. Open your chest a little more as you drop your hips a little lower. Good. Push a little bit deeper for me now. Drop it down lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, big inhale. Exhale, push back. Try to get your chest down towards that quad, down towards the floor as much as you can. Great job. Alright, let's come back into that tabletop position. Okay, and then go ahead and have a seat with me. I want you to tuck your left leg back kind of beside you or behind you a little bit, and the right leg is going to be centered right out front. So foot is on your quad, back foot is tucked here, okay? I want you first to fold over top of your front bent leg. Try to relax your glutes and your quads and your hips and your back. And just melt over top of your leg. You can use your hands to support your upper body if you want. Just kind of relax everything. You to press up from there, okay, and actually turn over top of that leg so you're stretching away from the leg that's tucked behind you. Reach up and over for me. Good job. Big twist. So if my right leg is out front, I'm stretching over the right shoulder. Reach, reach, reach. Job. All right, come back to the front. Take that same arm as your front leg and go up and over. It's going to get really deep into the side, obliques, and hips. Again, just get a little bit uncomfortable. Challenging you to push a little bit outside of where you normally feel okay today. Stretch a little deeper. 2, 1. Alright, come on back up to the center and let's just switch legs. Okay, so opposite leg is tucked right inside here on your thigh. And the leg is back kind of beside you, behind you. And we're going to melt right over top of that front leg. Try to relax your glutes, your back. Back up to the top. So I've got my right leg out front here. I'm reaching over with my left arm over top. So I'm twisting over this front leg. Keep breathing. To the middle. Let's march over to the opposite side. Doing great, guys. Working on this entire midsection right now. Your glutes, hips, obliques. Let's shift over onto our front bent knee, okay? I want you to put all the weight on that leg and actually bend your back foot. Grabbing on, I want you to pull your heel up to your glute here for me. Good job. You're going to feel this one really close to your knee. Depending on your flexibility level, you might feel it up close to your hip as well. Good. All right, release that foot. Don't let it slam down. Slowly release it. Okay, and then flip over. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so putting that weight onto your front leg. Okay, knees down in the back. Grab onto that foot and pull. Heel to your glute. Good job. Let go. Slowly release that leg out back. And let's go ahead and flip over onto your back. Okay, working into the hamstrings a little bit here. So let's straighten your left leg out.
Haven't I talked too much in the beginning? Instagram turns off.
Up top, right over your chest. Grab onto the back of your leg. Pull right up to your chest. Appreciate you taking this time for yourself today. Just keep breathing nice and deep.
See, this is bad for me. I should be here. It's got in the way. I'm stiff as hell. Maybe because I'm older. I don't know.
Perfect. Now take that left hand with your left leg, open it up just a little bit wider out to the side. Keep both your shoulder blades on the floor. Going back into the middle. Cross that leg over top your body. Again, keep your shoulder blades flat on the floor for me. Big deep breath. And come back into the middle. And let's switch legs. Same exact thing. Okay? Straight leg up top.
That was
Keep this bottom leg nice and flat. Okay, make sure you're not bending it up here. Keep it flat on the floor so you get that stretch there as well. Maybe if you're modifying, you're grabbing right behind your knee. Okay, and pulling here into your chest. It's okay, whatever your flexibility level is. Lengthening the leg straight up over your chest, reaching back, back, back with that toe. Pulling in. Big deep exhale as you open it out to the side. Good job. All right, bring the leg back up to the center. And now let's cross it over your chest. Try to keep both your shoulder blades flat. Great job. All right, bring it back in. Let's go ahead and have a seat with your feet together. Here in the middle, okay, so kind of like butterfly style. Bringing your toes together, I want you to grab onto your feet. Let your head hang for just a quick second and relax your back. As you exhale, I want you to feel that relaxation from your head all the way down your tailbone. Good job. All right, let's lean over to the right side. Just take your shoulders nice and straight and think about tipping your shoulders over like a teapot, okay? Just tipping over to the side, and I want you to feel this all in the mid to low back on the opposite side, so the side that you're leaning away from. Good job. Keep both sit bones on the ground, okay? Make sure you're not lifting up over here. Keep everything seated. You're just arching over. Alright, let's go ahead and come back to the middle. Switch over. Pour it over like a teapot. Just arching over. Keep your hands right here for today. want you to feel all back here, right along your spine. And even if you're up tall here and this is as far over as you can get, as long as you're feeling it here, that's good. That's what I want. Big deep breath in. And come back to the middle. Great job. Big deep breath in. I want you to cross your legs over top. Okay, so take one leg flat, one leg is crossed over. Okay, I'll give you a second to get there. So this is my right leg. If we're speaking mirror terms, this is my right leg. Taking my left arm, crossing it outside, twisting away. Keep your spine nice and tall. Feel your chest open up to the back. Good. Come back into the center. I want you to grab onto this knee with both hands. Pull it up to your chest. Good job. Stretch along the back side of your glutes here. If you need a little bit more, you can lift the shin up away. Pull that even higher. Good job. All right, let's drop that foot down. Go ahead and open it and switch sides. Okay. So crossing that top leg over, got your bottom leg nice and flat. Cross the top leg over. This is my left leg. Taking my right hand over, twist away. Keep your spine nice and tall, big broad chest. Back into the center for me. Let's hug this knee right up to our chest. If this isn't enough, loop your hands under your calf and pull up towards your chest this way. Good. All right, let's go ahead and release those legs. I want you to flip it over onto tabletop position again. Again, we're still kind of working that hip and lower back area. All right, so nice wide knees. I want you to spread them out to the edges of your mat. Feet are nice and wide. And then push forward, dropping your hips down onto the mat. Rolling your shoulder blades back and down. Open your chest up. Try to lift your chin up away from your chest. And lower back down to the floor. Okay, bring your feet up here. Let's do some ankle circles again. I'm stressing this a lot today, but I think this is something that we overlook. Just roll your ankles, move your toes as much as you can. And relax your feet back down, press back up away from the floor. Lift your chin. A little bit closer. And I want you to push up and actually pull your hips up with you to guide yourself back into child's pose. Okay, so sit back onto your calves. Reach your hands out forward, nice and wide, so you can really open up your back muscles, your shoulder muscles. nice and relaxed, and I want you to lift your tailbone first, creating a big cat back arch, and then drop your hips down to the mat. Lifting your chin up last. And then we're just going to reverse that. Tuck your chin back in, big cat back, push your hips back, and sit. Let's go through 3 more of those at your own pace. Lift your tailbone up, cat back, stretch, 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 stretch. Drop the hips, lifting your chin last. Tuck the chin back down, push your shoulder blades high, cat back arch, and back into child's pose. Lift it again, here we go. Cat back, drop the hips, roll the belly down, and lift the chin. And let's tuck it again. Chin down, push your upper back, back, and sit here. I want you to walk your hands back in until they're right beside your shoulder blades. Press up slowly. Lower it down again. Looking on the middle back. Press up again. Back to a seated position. I want you to cross your legs in front. Okay, take your arms up overhead. Link your fingers together. Pull and drop down. Trace a straight line across your body. Open it up to the other side. Okay, so we're stretching out shoulders, back. Push right across your body. Come back to the center. And let's reverse that. Down, across. Open up and lift back to the top. And then stop right up at the top when you get here with me. Drop your hands down to the mat. Let's release ear down to your shoulder. I want you to stay right here. Your hands in contact with the floor. Spine is straight and tall, and your ears just dropping down to your shoulder. We're relaxing all these neck muscles and trap muscles. Big deep breath in, swing to the other side. Hands are still on the floor, ear is going to the shoulder. Back into the center. Big deep breath in. You have made it through your 30-minute stretch, guys. I'm so proud of you for taking this time. I wanted to challenge you with movement today through positions, through working on your joints, making sure the muscles around your joints are loosened up so you're ready to completely crush a week. Okay? I also challenge you, as always, to incorporate this stretch at least 3 more times into your week. All I want.
Okay, that's not a bad stretch. Isn't completely a full body stretch. I mean, a lot of focus on the lower legs and the hips and the lower back. That was great. I don't think there was chest. Shoulders and triceps, biceps and forearms. Definitely a better stretch than Turbo Fire Stretch 40 was. I think these are crucial. your shoulders and triceps. You know, they don't get as stiff as the rest of your body does, but I did like how she did the feet and the ankles, because nobody does that usually. I don't think about that very often. So, I like it, but we'll try something different next time. I don't know. I like I like someone leading me through things. That makes me sound like a follower. I mean, as soon as I get to the point where I can create my own, I do enough stretches that I can actually put together a routine other than just me just randomly doing stuff, working my way down, back and forth, or getting something, doing something else. Because I could do that. I could do something like that. But I'm at the point where I want to do that. I'd rather have someone do it for me, and then it's the same thing we have in a chart. You know, I got to follow the chart. Even though it's my chart, I put it together. So, all right. That being said, week 3 is done. Yay. Once again, I'm going to stress that next week I am going to go a little harder. That's how this 6 weeks is supposed to go anyway. Each week's supposed to get a little more intense. The other thing I'm going to make sure I stop doing is talking in between workouts, or in between exercises, because that just wastes time. It kills your burn, kills your heart rate, drops your heart rate, slows your body down, and just kills the vibe too. So, I kind of wanted to switch to my workout playlist on Spotify. But it's all commercial music, so couldn't monetize it in any portion of my workout, if I got to that point anyway. But again, really not worried about monetizing it. Just it feels so much better when you're actually listening to stuff and you just want to have, you know, as opposed to stuff that's kind of hard hitting, but it's just there's not much to it, which is that Common Core, Creative Commons, copyright free stuff. Just hits harder, feels better. It seems like you want to push through it more when you got, you know, the next song starts. It's oh, I love this one, you know, as opposed to oh, this one's kind of cool. It sounds okay. I could put my Bluetooth headset in and listen to my music and just have the other stuff playing in the background. Then I would probably hear both. Could live stream with my music and then record over it with the other music. But that would be wrong too, because then I'd be publicly broadcasting copyrighted music, and then I'd probably get kicked off my lives. Because that's breaking the rules. Alright, so I'm going to go back upstairs since I haven't eaten yet, and I've really only had like one sip of water. I'm going to measure and weigh myself again. Go to the bathroom first. can go to the bathroom first, which is what I just said, and see if the measurements change. I'm going to do my measurements again tomorrow. There's nothing wrong with if your measurements don't turn out, measurements and weigh-ins don't turn out properly on the day you're supposed to do them. Take them again the next day. And if they turn out properly, then maybe something was going on. You know, realize that you weighed, everything's the same as the week before when you do it Sunday and Sunday, but then you do it Monday and you lost like 3 pounds. That's the one thing I will guarantee you. Your body fat percentage on those scales will fluctuate. That's a given. They will fluctuate. Hopefully not too much. If they fluctuate too much, there's either something wrong with your scale, or you're dehydrated or overhydrated. But you really can't be more empty than being empty. If that makes any sense. So if you hop on there and you're like, you know, your stomach is completely empty, like you're starving, like you need to eat, you're going to pass out. And the first thing you do is you go to the bathroom, relieve all your functions that you need to relieve. You're as empty as you can be, and without trying to make that sound gross. You hop on that scale, you're really not going to be any emptier. Probably could be a little bit. There's probably still some stuff going on inside you, but you know, you're not going to weigh any less than your body should weigh. All right, you can weigh more. Okay, like if you're completely naked, all right, and you are empty, like you haven't had anything to drink, you haven't anything to eat, you've emptied all your bodily functions, you are empty and naked. You're not going to weigh any more than you should, you know. But down a 32 ounce thing of water, you're going to weigh 32 ounces more. You throw on some clothes, you're going to weigh whatever those clothes weigh, half pound, 2 pounds. You put on shoes. You go eat a sandwich. Make me a sandwich. You're going to weigh more. Okay? You're constipated. You're going to weigh more. You got diarrhea. You're going to be dehydrated. So your body fat is going to change. You know, so everything, there's things that happen that can change things. So, but like I said, you're not going to weigh any less than you're supposed to weigh. So if you weigh yourself on your normal weigh-in day and you weigh the same or more than the week before, and you know there's nothing wrong with your routine or your diet, and then you weigh yourself the next day and you drop 3 pounds, you probably still have some residual stuff going on in here. It could be just the food from the night before. Could be the digested food from 3 days before. You know, whatever it is. So, but you're not going to weigh any less than your body is supposed to when it's empty. So, you take the lesser weight of those 2 days, but don't do it every day. Okay, don't hop back on there and be like, all right, I weighed myself Monday. All right, I weighed myself Tuesday. I weighed myself Thursday. That's not going to work. If you don't get the results if you don't get good results on your normal weekly schedule, it's okay to do your weigh-ins and measurements the next day, just to double check. Okay, if they come out higher, it doesn't mean you gain an extra pound in a day. All right, it just means there's still stuff going on in your body. So take the lesser of the two, and then move on, and hopefully the next week it'll rectify itself, or you know. That's it. Next week I'm going to try a different a different stretch. I like that one. It's good. For you people on YouTube watching this, I'm going to put her information on the text on the screen and in the description. So if you do like that one, if you're watching this, you can actually go watch her actual video, because it'd be easier to watch her do it when her setup is proper, as opposed to watching me do it at these goofy angles. So anyway, I think her name was Stephanie Cummings. Yeah, Stephanie Cummings. I think she has a whole workout channel on there. So if any of you did watch this and you do like it, that's the video, and she has other stuff too. So not too shabby to look at either. Just saying. A little swig to wet my whistle. All right, that is it. Monday. Tomorrow. Monday we start back over. We are into week 4. You see this? I don't know if you can see it. Can you yeah. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have one set up for my Excel spreadsheet. It goes to 6 weeks. So when I do the 5 weeks, I just black out the last one. So we got week 1, 2, 3 done, 4, 5. This is going to be recovery week. It's not blacked out because it's a recovery week. It's just because our weeks and months are not set up nicely. Because 4 weeks is not exactly a month except for February. Because it's 28 days, except for every 4 years, and it's 1 extra day. But instead you go 4 weeks. Like my before picture was on my birthday, which was Sunday, April 10th, and then I took one April 17th, April 24th, April 30th, which is today, and then next week will be May 8th. I think May 7th. May 7th. Yeah, so today's the 3rd. Today's the 1st. Today is May 1st. 24th, 24, 31. So it'll be 1st, because only 30 days in this month. There's the other thing, 30 and 31. So yeah, today is May 1st. Yesterday was April 30th. So April 10th. So my before picture, that'd be 0. April 10th. April 17th. April 24th. May 1st. May 8th. So I'm now 2 days behind on the month. And then when you go through that, you're going to go, from May 8th to May 15th, May 22nd, May 29th, and there's, next would be 29, there'd be 7, so 29 to 36, which would be the 6th, but there's 31 days, would be the 5th, so May 5th, now we're 3 more days behind, so now we're 5 days behind my first picture, month-wise, on the second month. So you go 1 more week, and now you are May 12th, so now you're 2 days ahead of the month, but now you're closer to a month than you were with 5 weeks than you were with the other one, to the first one. So so it kind of goes. I believe it's like 4, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5 weeks wise, but you can pretty much guarantee that 13 weeks, which is 91 days, because 10 times 7 is 70, and 3 times 7 is 21, so it's 91 days. And for the most part, you're going to have, depends on when you start. You start like in April, May, June, it's 30, 31, 30, and it's 91 days. But if you start in May, May, June, July, that's 31, 30, 31, that's 92 days. Start in February, or if you start in June, 30, 31, 31. So you're going to have for the most part, you had 91 or 92 days in a 3-month period. So that's the closest you're going to get to an accurate period to go with the days of the week, or for the weeks. So that's 13 weeks in a 3-month period. So 13 weeks in a quarter of a month, of a year. 13 weeks in a quarter of a year. So that's how I have it broken down. And since 13 doesn't break down in half, except 6.5, we're not doing 6.5, weekly wise, that gives you 6 and 7. Now technically I could do 6 weeks on the one set, the 1 of 30, 6 weeks on the 2 of 15, and then do a recovery week. I could do that way. However, I think 5 and 6 is fine. Or I could do 5 recovery, 5 recovery, take a week off, or do a week of yoga, which would kind of be a recovery week as well. But that'll just throw you off. I think that'll just throw you off again. Recovery week is supposed to still be intense enough to keep yourself going on the same pace you were going, but not the exact same workouts. It's going to be more cardio involved, but you're still doing stuff. Like I'm going to do these Turbo Sculpt workout, which is pretty much you're holding weights in your hand the whole time. You're doing lunges, you're doing squats, you got weights in your hand, you're doing side lateral raise, you're doing front, you're doing this, you're doing everything there, but it's not structured the same as a regular workout. Obviously, it's an aerobic weight training workout. That makes sense. Sure, it makes sense. I'm sure you've seen plenty of those videos, or at least an infomercial about those videos. So, and then I'll be doing some extra cardio as opposed to that. So, because they're going to hit pretty much everything in that Turbo Sculpt video. So I'll do that once, twice. I think there's 2 different videos they have. I usually do the Turbo Sculpt, so I'll do that. Do some cardio videos for a week, and then we'll jump back into the regular routine, which would be revamped as a 2 and 15 from the 1 and 30. So, but I think it's good to have that little break in between switching gears, basically. So switching from 1 and 30 to 2 and 15, 2 and 15 to 3 and 10, 3 and 10 to 5 and 6. I think it's good to have a little break, because then it gives your not only gives your muscles a little bit of time to get off the routine, for one, and 2, it also gives them a little more of a shock, because now you're going up even more weight and you're changing how you're doing it, even though we're doing the exact same routine, the exact same order, but you are doing heavier weights and different set to rep ratios. So 5 weeks recovery, 6 weeks recovery, 5 weeks recovery, 6 weeks recovery, 5 weeks recovery, 6 weeks recovery, 5 weeks recovery, 6 weeks recovery. I had to make sure you did all 4. That'll give you 1 year. And then I believe we will end, since this is not a leap year, next year's not a leap year, that would put us back, I believe April 9th will be the last Sunday. So, I believe that's how it works. So I believe my birthday next year is on Monday, which is what it was on the year I was born. 45. Yeah. Ankle crack. So yeah, that's the closest you're going to have a month to week ratio is 13 weeks every 3 months. So that's the reasoning why I broke it down the way I did. That's why there's 5 weeks here, 6 weeks the next, with a recovery week in between that will give you 13 weeks. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm rambling. I need to go eat, shower, all that good stuff, and then go to work. Okay, bye-bye.